roughing them right. This song, it's called Cowboy Take Me Away. Yeah. That in a girl's honest heart, in a primal heart, every girl wants to see a hero.
That's every fantasy fairy
Every
tale
girl,
ever told.
every
That's
romance,
what
everything and I'm telling women today, which is another very difficult thing that women are facing, particularly as they get to what Lobo calls the wall, which is, you know, they have the 19 to 27 or 26 range where it's like the party years.
Yeah, that's their
And,
prime.
but then
A spoon and a knife.
Another unfair thing about nature for women is they're on the clock. Like,
Let me get this.
okay, I need to have kids. You know, how do we, mostly in my opinion, because the way the dynamics are right now, they have to turn their head to
What
that
time flight center?
and become a bad bitch.
Whenever, man.
I
You gotta
think that's
get there first morning, just get back on time.
Copy.
Flight center opening time.
The opening time for 5 seconds need
Flight center opening time.
Yeah, he was about to tell you.
the opening hours for some Flight Centre locations in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. Flight Centre George Street, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday,
9 a.m.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
9 a.m.
Flight
Wake
Centre-
up, man.
In order to
Alarm, 9 a.m.
They're trying to create it once for themselves because they know they want it and they're not getting it.
I call them phantom.
Also, we need to find the flight center Migros, not fucking
If
George.
you're a high status enough dude,
Actually,
and I've had this happen myself, I'll walk into the meeting, girl will have a hell of a lot of those, right? She'll be a bad bitch, you know, tell me about
Fast at the hospital.
tell me she made 6 figures
That's
last
what's
year,
closest.
I'll hold back.
Alright, we'll go there then.
Tell her that's cute, you know, congratulate her and everything about the beauty thing.
parking's not that expensive.
That's also.
11 minutes.
And they tell you the truth. They have to.
Alright, we'll go there. That's nothing.
Open 9 a.m.
I'm not saying this.
So if we try and wake up at 8 and leave at 8:30.
For me, I'm the type of person that need to be oversleep. So I know I can get enough sleep.
And I think it's a
We have to make sacrifices sometimes.
Early death I can't.
Just for one day.
Again, they've been sold this lie that they
Just
don't-
one day.
It's not equality. Equality is the woman is her best and the man is his best and they're in their role.
They've made me do that many fucking times before, but recently, and now all of a sudden, oh, I can't.
This masculine shell on, but when she really breaks it down, she
Just early death.
It's just one day.
And I think what makes society so far right now is that expectation, especially over the last 10 years of that number has risen to the moon. Have you heard the 6 sixes?
No.
So I think it's 6 months from the last relationship, 6 foot gap, 6-inch dick, 6-figure income,
6
and
foot?
yeah, 6 foot tall, and a 600 horsepower car. Now, great to be in those categories, right? However,
We need to cook.
when you have a
We need to start
family
cooking.
across the
Home
board
cook for the rest of our
that
life.
happen, let's use 6 foot tall.
Just this
There's something called
and rice and soup and eggs.
Yes. They cash girls, they're non-negotiables.
Yeah,
they
they're
put it into
non-negotiables.
the calculator and it's
Yeah,
like,
they're like-
oh, congrats, 1 out of 13,000 guys fits your role.
0.1111%. And look, it doesn't behoove me to sit here and brag about me hitting certain statistics or you hitting some of these certain statistics. I'm talking about normal, good people with good hearts that want to have a relationship or a family or children. They want to contribute to society. We've set up a scenario where that's next to impossible for them.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the man, I'm talking about the woman. Because the woman, whether she actually feels that way or not, or she's getting pressured into that or not. And I think pressure from the world is actually one of the major indicators. She wants to love the normal guy. Somewhere in her, it agitates her, like she's almost not allowed to, even if she wants to. Because there's always this shiny syndrome thing in her way. The guy 2 pounds over that has an Instagram just say he's got 10,000 followers because he's a fitness
fucking
dude.
sponge
You know, or
over.
she has this vision with this guy. And then there's this guy over here. He has an insurance.
Nothing to
company,
clean
lives
it.
3 towns over, but he likes her photos or DMs her every now and then. But you understand what I'm saying? It's like,
But
even the guy with no followers, she wants to control the top. You know, and I think that's more professional. And, you know, socio-economic thing where women can do that. I think that, you know, men can do that. And they,
women that were kind of in the dating world, and they said that they will absolutely, when they meet a man, stalk the last couple exes that he had to see what trips he took her on, because they're comparing it to what this guy's
yeah, so they want to know how much he loves her.
Yeah.
Right. Well, newsflash will be, I'm just gonna go where I have business. So you can get on the plane or not. And I think that's a major thing to end this. You need to be on your mission.
Yeah.
I don't chase money. I don't teach pickup. I talk about intersexual dynamics because it gets brought to me a lot. It's very tied to masculinity. Because I want to see the guys money, but I also want to see the women money. You never hear me talking about this is what you should do to get women. In fact, my pickup line is just introducing myself. It's always what it is. Because I believe so much that if you become
It's
that
not about
guy,
you yet. It's about you.
women will come to you. I believe in gravity. I believe in absorbing women through who you are, and you're going this way, and they just jump in front of you. Chasing women, I don't think about as two magnets that you try to put together that repel one another. You should always be trying to become the man that women want.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to up the quality of woman in your life, you have to become a better quality of man. That's it. I mean, you're going to attract in whatever you are, and it's where people get frustrated is when they're very ambitious but they're lazy, right? Those two things don't go very well together. So those guys get super, they're super depressed about their situation with women. But it's like at the end of the day, you just ask yourself a question: why would a woman date you? Like, what caliber of woman would want to be with you? And if you can't be real about that and honest about that, because any guy that has made himself the asset, if you have, a great life and you do provide and you do create safety both emotionally, physically, and financially, then it's going to be pretty easy to attract women in your life.
Improvise.
Now, you're going to have to decide what
Then use one of these toothbrushes.
whatever else it is. But women are going to be accessible to you. I think I was going to ask you a question earlier, kind of related, but why are so many men not dating, or especially the younger generation? I see people that I've coached or that are in their early 20s, and it seems like they're a little bit clueless to this point that you're making. They're like, guys, all you have to do, look, you're not going to be able to compete.
I think you
with Justin, you're not going to be able to compete with the guy that can fly her to Dubai. But
No,
you've
it's
got
so
to
good.
start working on yourself to improve yourself every single day.
Everyone likes
because
this
the more
thing
you become
different.
that asset, the more women are going to look at your potential. And the second you have the potential to be what they dream of having, then they're attracted. They'll be attracted to the potential. You don't have to already be there. But as a 21-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever that might be, you do have to have the potential in their eyes.
I'm completely right about that. And at that age, I know that you're full of testosterone, and your mind kind of works in one direction. If you focus that on becoming the man that you want to become, you're absolutely right. Women will see that, and they will get in your way. There's no need to chase them. There's truly not. I don't think at any level there's any need to chase women. If all you do is focus on the man you become, women are going to be the least of your worries.
Because there's such a labor shortage all the time.
For sure.
In America. No company has the exact amount of staff they need or that are trained the right way. So even for me, there's always this percentage of men that either I know are mercenaries and kind of dead men walking, like, oh, wait till this job's over. Because they don't want to tie off, or they don't want to do quality, or they get drunk in the trucks. Like, I do have my problem children, don't get me wrong.
yeah.
Like, they're
Don't
not,
buy those guys a drink.
yeah, they're Boy Scouts. Yeah, or wait after the shift.
Yeah.
But the point is, man, is that it just doesn't run without them.
Yeah.
And if I do anything with what I'm doing online, being a voice for them would be very fulfilling for me.
Yeah. There's not many voices for that.
No, and like I said, there's definitely a labor shortage, and I think that in the future, guys are really the country is gonna have to pay these men what they're really worth. You know, which is tricky for me because if I were President Martin, I would never run or anything like that, but I'd make certified payroll legal because when they do Bacon Davis projects, they tell you how much you have to pay each man, you know? Now, if I did that in the private market, I would never win work. But on those projects, everybody has to pay like the same amount when you're bidding,
Yeah.
which I really like. And they make you pay the taxes and the insurance. I pay my man overtime, drive time, I pay all workman's comp. I do it perfectly by the book. I don't mess around with that. But I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And so if you, let's say you did $1 million job and you lose by 300 grand, well, that's the labor burden.
Yeah.
You know, because the man hours are going to be the same
Yeah.
if they do what they're doing. So I really
They're
respect.
skipping on labor somehow. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, what's a better return? Is there a better return than 30% on your money? You know, there's guys out there paying people cash.
Yeah.
I refuse to do it. I've lost guys over it.
Yeah.
I've had guys come in, it's like, I'll work for you, but I want cash. Bro, I can't give you a job. Sorry.
Well, and also too, whenever,
It's very honest.
I mean, obviously that's happened to me many times. And I'm just like, well, my tax bill's 40%. So like,
Yeah.
you better be giving me like an 80% discount to
Yeah.
even like, why would I do that? That makes no sense.
Right. And that's the thing about like guys like you, it's like you're building a brand.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who you are. You can't be out there like cheating.
Yeah.
You know, it's a matter of time. I'm getting audited right now from 2019.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm cool. You know,
We got
no
our receipts.
Yeah, I want to be able to sleep at night, man. I want to be able to build a business on a foundation. You know, and I love my country, so I don't mind paying taxes. I think
Yeah.
America's a goat. A lot of people give me shit for that. I don't care, man. America's a goat.
Yeah.
Like scoreboard, bro. You don't like America? Get out.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man, when people start complaining about politics and all this. I'm like, bro, I don't care if you liked Biden. I don't care if you liked Trump. You're not in like some oppressive country. Like you're
Yeah.
not like, I don't care if you grew up in the hood. Like I played baseball with guys from third world countries, the Dominican, Venezuela,
Yeah.
all these places where they got it bad. Like they have true corruption. They have poverty. Like you don't have that.
1,000%, dude. I play college football.
Yeah.
So some of my teammates came from better homes than me, but a big majority of them came from neighborhoods,
Yeah.
you know, that you don't want to grow up in.
Mhm.
And I grew up in a version of that, kind of like the trailer park. It was more of a meth thing, you know, where I grew up. Maybe for them it was cocaine or crack or something like that. But I'm just telling you, man, it's, you know, people overcome a lot of things
Yeah.
just to get a shot. You know, and for people to disrespect the flag, disrespect the country, I think they're losers. I often say I don't care who the president is, I won't win in any condition.
Exactly.
You know, like your blind grandmother could be the president tomorrow, and it wouldn't change what I'm gonna do.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just don't care.
I'm still gonna just get
Winners win in any environment,
Right.
And I refuse to let that be a crutch for anyone.
Yeah.
You know, anyone talking to me.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew what I had to do to get in my position and where I came from.
Yeah.
And I knew that other people had it even worse than I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was a tall, straight white male born in America. That's at least 3 aces.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So from there, it's just really up to you what you want to become, man.
Yeah.
So-
well, I think too, it's like everybody has their own negatives that they grew up with, right? Like,
Alright,
cool,
let's
you
cook
grew up
part
with
for
aces, and then you grew up in a trailer park, right? Like you have, people older, like you said, in
Fuck, this one's so
Right now.
opportunities they could take
You
advantage
really want this, huh?
Then you even like get on the other side of the coin where you get people who grow up
You want
like
answer?
rich trust fund style. And guess what?
No, it's just another one.
They never have to
Oh.
work.
They're worse. I always say that being born into a family with money is like being born into captivity at the zoo. You're a lion and you're born at the zoo and they close the zoo and they bump you into the jungle and you don't know how to hunt.
Yeah.
You're in shit.
Yeah.
It's not good. And what I always say about the people that grew up with a less of an advantage, if you can find a way to spin that to a positive,
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I was born in this situation, but now I have grit
Yep.
that the guy next to me doesn't have. If you can, because it is true in my thinking, if you can change your relationship with it, I don't think I've had anything that's happened to me in my life that I've not personally been able to spin to an advantage.
I agree with you. I think that way too. Every stroke.
Thank you, yeah.
Oh, good, bro. We can actually eat together this time. Lulu just paid his rent.
Oh, he's a good man, yeah.
He has potential, man. That's why I haven't given up on him. And I'm not just saying that because he paid rent.
I'm not sad about that. This is what it is, yeah. So, I mean, there are people smarter, there are people faster, there are people that have better connections. Yeah, I think it's all up to you to understand how to do it for yourself.
Entrepreneurs, if you want to grow your business, there's no better investment than your own personal brand. The smartest thing I ever did was start creating content and investing into my brand. Ever since then, we've been able to triple our business. I've been able to raise more money than ever, continue buying more real estate. It's all because I create content and just now. A lot of people ask me, Ryan, how am I supposed to do it? How do I start? How do I edit it? I don't know the question to set up. I'm not going to do it. Welcome to the family. We can help you with all of that. We have a podcast checklist for free at MadeInMedia.com. Everything you need on starting a podcast. But to make that better, we'll actually edit your podcast for you with the purpose of TikTok so that people will start seeing those posts on your podcast in return. Customers and investors. So, if you want the one-stop solution, get everything done for you, plus the education. If you have a personal brand, you need to go to MadeInMedia.com, free call with our team. You can also go to that free podcast checklist and that training program, absolutely free. So go check it out.
I had Earl McManus on the podcast yesterday, and we were talking about that because he coaches a lot of high-level performers, athletes, celebrities, all this stuff. And he was like, you know, the people who have a lot of natural talent that never went through adversity, they never develop the mental fortitude and the internal mindset that's required to succeed. He's like, because they just get talent, so they don't really have to do it. And then they have all these external things